All right, well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Diamond Bar Center and the 2015 State of the City Address presented tonight by Mayor Steve Tye. My name is Jim DeStefano, and I'm Diamond Bar's City Manager. For the benefit of those who are unable to attend, who wanted to attend, unable to do so, but could not join us, we're taping this evening's program for broadcast on Diamond Bar's DBTV television channels, as well as the website and our YouTube channel. In just a few minutes, Mayor Tye will be delivering the State of the City Address, but first, a bit of background on Mayor Tye, then recognition of the many attendees, and finally, the presentation by Mr. Tye. Steve has been actively engaged in the community and in public service for many years. He served on several very important committees over the years that led to the adoption of the city's first general plan, ongoing improvements to our parks facilities, the creation of this Diamond Bar Center, the new community library, as well as the new City Hall facility. He was appointed to the Parks and Recreation Commission in 1994 and served until appointed to the Planning Commission in 1997. He was elected to the City Council in 2005, and with almost 10 years of service, he's been selected by his peers as mayor 3 times, in 2007, 2011, and now for 2015. As you know, Diamond Bar is a city that provides many public services through contracts with other providers. 3 examples of such contracts are with a private vendor for building and safety services and with Los Angeles County for fire and sheriff's services. What you may not know is that Mayor Tye has been actively engaged in the California Contract Cities Association for many years. The association is comprised of 70 like-minded contract cities who together provide services for millions of residents. Mayor Tye had the distinction and has recently concluded his service as president of this invaluable organization. As you've heard, Mayor Tye is actively engaged in and works very hard for the Diamond Bar community. Before I ask the mayor to present his remarks, I'd like to recognize some of the special guests that we have with us tonight. So first of all, Mayor Tye's colleagues, my bosses, Mayor Pro Tem Nancy Lyons, Councilwoman Carol Herrera, Councilmember Jack Tanaka, and Councilmember Jimmy Lynn is with us in spirit. He is currently in Washington, D.C., advocating for transportation dollars to fix the 5760. And you'll hear a bit more about that. Also tonight, we are pleased to have with us Eileen Ansari, a former councilwoman and mayor for the city of Diamond Bar. We have several members of our 3 commissions with us tonight. First, the Parks and Recreation Commission is represented tonight by Chairperson Ted Owens and Commissioner Lou Herndon. The Planning Commission is represented by Chairperson Ruth Lowe, Commissioner Frank Farago, Commissioner Fred Malky, and Commissioner Bob Nishimura. The Traffic and Transportation Commission is represented by Chairperson Ted Carrera, Ken Mock, Surendra Mehta, Ed Pecci, and Manisha Sulaki. We have a number of elected officials here and also representatives from some of our regional representation, and that includes Jody Roberto, the Senior District Representative for State Senator Bob Huff, Luigi Luciano, who is here on behalf of Assemblymember Ling Ling Chang, Supervisor Cannabis Deputy Angie Valenzuela. There are also additional elected officials who serve as community partners with the City of Diamond Bar from the Walnut Valley Unified School District, the Pomona Unified School District, the Walnut Valley Water District, and the Three Valleys Water District. Representation through the elected officials as well as general manager and superintendent. Thank you for coming. And also a special shout out to Captain Jeff Scroggin, Lieutenant Takias, and the team from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. Assistant Fire Chief Troy Flaith and his team from the LA County Fire Department. And several members of my very dedicated city staff members. And lastly, we are well represented through the folks here tonight from community organizations such as the Diamond Bar Community Foundation, the Diamond Bar Women's Club, the Friends of the Library, the Moms Club, AYSO, and the Pacific Crest and Bugle Corps. All right. Thank you all for your service. Thank you all for being here. And now let me bring to the podium, it's my pleasure to bring forward three-time Mayor Steve Tye.
Thank you very much, Jim. I know a lot of people asked me when they knew tonight was the State of the City that what time would the Mayor, Carol Herrera, be here? She's always telling me she's the mayor. So thank you, Jim, for taking care of that. And one more great thanks. I begin everything that I do for the city by thanking my beautiful bride of 39 years in June, if she'll have me, Patty. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you taking the time to participate and to listen. It's really great to see such a broad representation of our community here. It's this strong level of civic engagement that makes for successful government, that makes for Diamond Bar being as successful as it is. We'll talk about civic engagement a little later. I want to open tonight's presentation by sharing details about a very exciting project that will begin to take shape in the month of May, right in the heart of our city. The Grand Avenue Beautification Project at the intersections of Diamond Bar Boulevard and Longview Drive. After nearly 2 years of researching, planning, and gathering public input, we've reached the construction phase, and we can now put to good use a $1 million federal grant we were awarded many years ago. The fact that these funds are federal funds is the reason why the beautification effort is taking place at these particular locations and not elsewhere. There are stipulations that restrict the use of these grant funds to Grand Avenue. Notwithstanding this restriction, however, Grand Avenue at these two junctions makes sense for several reasons. First, the intersection of Grand Avenue and Diamond Bar is truly the center of town, the shopping center on each of the four corners. More than 55,000 vehicles pass through this intersection on any given day, half of them when I'm on the way to work. And second, Grand Avenue at Longview Drive serves as one of the main gateways into Diamond Bar. I do want to emphasize, though, that this project will not be an end in itself, but rather a start of something great that will have a lasting positive impact on our community. I mentioned the large volume of traffic that traverses the intersection on a daily basis. And I would wager that a greater percentage of vehicles keep going right through our city, passing through it. I ask them not to cut through. I always ask them to stop and buy something. We'd prefer that they not cut through. We want to change that. We want to give the people behind the wheel a reason to stop and spend their time and their money in Diamond Bar. And this project has the potential to do just that, for the simple fact that it's aesthetically pleasing. The single most striking element of this project is the new monument entry sign, as you see a likeness of it over here, that will be installed at Longview to greet visitors coming in from Chino Hills. At 10 feet high and 12 feet wide, it's quite impressive. If you're returning home, it's about feeling a sense of pride and arrival. If you're visiting, it's about getting a favorable first impression of our city. Further down the road, the intersection of Grand Avenue and Diamond Bar Boulevard, the enhancements will include decorative traffic signals and crosswalks, accent lighting and landscaping, and timber railing and custom tree grates. Altogether, this will create an eye-catching effect that is not only beautiful to look at, but also pays tribute to Diamond Bar's early days as a ranch through the depiction of windmills, rolling hills, and diamond shapes, as was the brand for the Diamond Bar Ranch. As I've already mentioned, this makeover won't be restricted solely to this area. The plan is to carry these design elements to other areas of the city just as soon as the opportunity and, as important, the funding arises. In concurrence with this beautification project, we're also working on citywide streetscape design guidelines that will ensure that future city or developer-driven improvements to our public spaces follow our new design theme. This will be the case with the Willow Heights housing development project currently under construction near the corner of Brea Canyon Road and Diamond Bar Boulevard. In addition to street improvements, the new master plan gated residential community, comprising 182 housing units, will also include a 2.5-acre public park that will feature a landmark statement that pays tribute to our ranch beginnings and conforms to our new guidelines. We anticipate this housing project will be completed by late summer 2016. With regards to other development activity around town, there are many projects either underway or waiting in the wings. These include the conversion of the Vons store to the Hagen brand, which started today and should take less than a week to complete. Based in Bellingham, Washington, they're an 80-year-old grocer. Had an opportunity to speak with them, and they want us to know we're not a Sprouts or a Whole Foods or Trader Joe's. I want you to know that our position in the marketplace is somewhere between a current Albertsons or Vons store and Whole Foods. I would say treat them like a new neighbor. Drop in and say hello. They're keeping all the employees that formerly worked at Vons. The opening of the Walmart Neighborhood Market on July 1st. Please notice. I was there a couple of nights ago, and they told me we're probably 2 months away, so July 1st works also. And the construction of 2 tire store and service centers, the expansion of the Shell gas station on Diamond Bar Boulevard to include a convenience mart and a car wash. What was an eyesore for so long is now a sales tax generating, thriving business. And if you remember talking about that a year ago, that was one of the main topics. What's going on with the Shell station? What's going on with the Shell station? And I won't bore you with the details. We're glad that they're in town, and stop by and say hello there as well. And we have a development of a Starbucks, a T-Mobile, and a Waba Grill on a presently vacant pad next to Chili's. I think the important thing of that is when you think of Starbucks, you think of Hagen's, you think of Walmart. Those are national retailers, and they have chosen to come to Diamond Bar, so we're very excited about that. Diamond Bar is fortunate to have a strong stock of fitness, shopping, service, and dining amenities. Our shopping centers are at or near capacity, and its tenants comprise both household name retailers and owner-run shops. And our dining options, which to date exceed 100, include many unique family-owned restaurants that are sought after by those who appreciate fresh ingredients and made-from-scratch preparations. Folks, we may not always find what we're looking for within our city boundaries, but the question we have to ask ourselves is, are we making a truly earnest effort to think Diamond Bar first? Do our shopping, dining, or fueling habits support our local economy? It wasn't that long ago that I said, if you're going to go out, please stop at Bill Sippel's mobile station for gas. We get a penny out of every sales tax dollar. Go to Xavier's new location over by Albertson and buy your wife flowers. Pearl, it'd be okay to buy Eddie flowers. And then you can eat at Chili's and then go to Brea and see a movie. You'll see a lot of your neighbors there. This is critical because in addition to supporting our local businesses, shopping in town benefits you, me, the entire community because of the 1% of taxable sales that the city receives. Currently, sales tax represent $3.5 million, or 15% of the city's general fund revenue. These dollars are reinvested back into our community in the form of essential city services that include public safety, recreation programs, and infrastructure improvements. That's what I call getting more for your dollar. Going beyond small standalone retail or restaurant spaces, we have 2 significant development opportunities that we're keeping a close eye on. The former Honda and Kmart properties represent great opportunity for Diamond Bar. The Honda property, as most of you are aware, was recently subject to an extensive market study that concluded that a hotel development was the best use of that property. We continue to work with the property owner and have been actively marketing the site to attract and secure a quality, business-oriented hotel that will positively contribute to the community, both through its attractive design and through the creation of new public dollars via hotel occupancy taxes. As for the Kmart property, not too many sad to see it leave. It closed in December, so it's too early for a development announcement. However, the good news is that the property owner was successful in purchasing the lease agreement from Sears Holding. And from conversations that City Manager Jim DeStefano has had with the owner, we are confident that the 85,000 square foot retail space will be redeveloped in a manner that will bring long-term benefit to our city. At the same time, we continue to invest in other areas equally important to our community's well-being: the preservation and improvement of our public recreational spaces, facilities, and programs. In addition to routine park maintenance this year, we'll bring major improvements to one of our oldest community parks, Heritage Park. Built in the 1980s, the park is long overdue for renovations. In fact, the restroom facilities constructed in 1986 are still in their original form. And the community center has not been revamped since it opened in 1993. These renovations, which are identified in our park's master plan, will improve both the look and function of the park's community center. They will give the center an updated interior design, modern technology, and energy-efficient features. Other planned improvements include ADA accessibility upgrades throughout the park site, new tot lot equipment, and additional picnic tables with barbecues. The Diamond Bar Trail system will also benefit from improvements. This year, we plan on realizing two projects identified in our Trails Master Plan: the Steep Canyon Connector Trail and the Pantera Park Trail. Both projects are aimed at improving safety and access and adding amenities to enhance the visitor experience. And what's better, these projects, like past trail improvements, will be paid for through grant funding. I don't know that there's a better staff anywhere in any city that does such a good job of getting grants for our city. Always, but more so during these challenging economic times, grants are an essential funding source for local governments to be able to carry out projects and improvements that they otherwise wouldn't be able to. Applying for grant funding is a competitive process. There's only a given amount of money, and there are numerous cities and other public agencies applying for the same funding. Trust me when I tell you, requests always exceed available resources. But consistently well-researched and assembled applications outlining how our projects will bring long-term public value for a reasonable price tag, as well as our track record of delivering on our promise, has made us quite successful in securing grant funding. Grants are one of the ways we are able to stretch our dollars to create amenities for our community and fund other critical services, such as public safety, which remains our #1 priority. On average, a little more than a quarter of our general fund, or $6.3 million, is invested every year in public safety services, and it's working. Los Angeles County Fire Department provides quick and efficient fire protection and emergency services to our community. And the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, I like to call them our police department, has consistently kept Diamond Bar rated as one of the safest communities in the region. I'm pleased to report that serious crime rates fell last year across all categories, down by more than 17% compared to 2013, and burglaries alone declined more than 23%. This measurable decline doesn't just happen by accident. It takes a skilled and attentive law enforcement team with a strong finger on the pulse of our community to do the job and do it consistently well. It takes a well-planned and executed strategy that includes studying and analyzing crime trends, conducting specific area patrolling, and using technology and forensics. It also takes a united community where neighbors communicate with each other on a regular basis. and we look out for each other and immediately report suspicious activity to our sheriff's department. That's how we achieve results. We stay alert. We don't fall into routines, and we never get complacent. Not when it comes to ensuring the safety of our community, whether it be through law enforcement or local land use authority. Retail medical marijuana dispensaries and massage establishments are two areas that have made the headlines on more than one occasion due to their vague regulations and often controversial nature. By exercising our local land use authority, specifically through the use of moratoriums, we were able to temporarily freeze the issuance of new licenses for these types of businesses. Because quite frankly, what we bring in here is just as important what we keep out. In both these cases, marijuana dispensaries and massage establishments, there are opportunities for disorder that can put our community at risk. Why moratoriums? They allow us time to study the issues at length and develop regulations that will ensure that the businesses that keep a Diamond Bar address do not operate contrary to our community's family-oriented nature. There are also projects that, while they may be outside of our city boundaries, have the ability to impact our community due to their proximity. I'm referring to the 600-pound acre plot of land, 600 acre, not 600 pound, I was thinking 800-pound gorilla. I'm referring to the 600-acre plot of land in the City of Industry known as the Industry Business Center site. It's generally located along the north side of the Pomona and Orange Freeway, south of Valley Boulevard. However, it borders Diamond Bar on the eastern and western lines, and therefore, any activity that the development produces has the potential for spillover or secondary effects. Since November, you may have noticed the site has been visibly undergoing extensive earthwork that includes grading, drainage improvements, and the installation of mainline infrastructure. As far as what will be built there, we only know that it will be one of two approved uses, an NFL stadium or a commercial office and industrial complex. It will be this time next year at the earliest before we find out which of the two concepts will be developed. However, should it turn out to be a stadium, a proposed settlement agreement entered into between Diamond Bar and City of Industry several years ago identifies and funds a suite of measures to reduce the negative impacts to our community. If it turns out that the property is developed for industrial, retail, and office uses, then the terms of the agreement do not apply. However, Diamond Bar will benefit from mitigation measures to address traffic impacts on Grand Avenue. This year, we'll see two regionally significant freeway improvement projects get off the ground: the 5760 Confluence Project and the Lemon Avenue on and off-ramp project. These projects have a few things in common. They've both been a long time in planning. Is that right, Councilwoman Herrera? They are both priority traffic mitigation items on the City Council's annual list of goals and objectives, and they are both products of coordinated efforts among local government and transit authorities. I'll start with the 5760 Confluence Project, which aims to correct a number of safety and operational issues on a 2-mile span of freeway where the 60 and 57 freeway meet. And surprised you might be to learn that 17 lanes are funneled into 14. Who thought that was a good idea? This creates serious bottleneck conditions and weaving and merging issues. The numbers paint the picture. Data shows that an average of 600 accidents occur every year in this span of freeway alone. And it's been rated as the 3rd most congested freeway section in California and the 7th worst bottleneck in the United States. Because of its magnitude, the project will be constructed in stages, and it is projected to cost $275 million. This will make it the most ambitious and most expensive public construction project the city has ever undertaken. We have approximately $46 million of the vital funding currently in place. And while this is only about 15% of the total project cost, it's enough to proceed with the first few phases. The first phase will cost $13 million. It's fully funded with an MTA grant and local matching funds. Work starts in the fall of this year and consists of constructing a westbound 60 on-ramp from Grand Avenue. That will be followed by the construction of the westbound 60 off-ramp and auxiliary lane to Grand Avenue. Work on this $20 million phase starts in April 2016. And this portion of the work is also fully funded with federal and MTA grants and local matching funds. Then, in the summer of 2017, a third phase of the project will get underway. As part of this $16.8 million phase, the design of local improvements on Grand Avenue and Golden Springs and the Diamond Bar Golf Course frontage will be completed and readied for construction. This part will also be fully funded with an MTA grant and local matching funds. The fourth phase, always the most expensive. What do they tell you when you redecorate? It's going to cost you more than you ever thought it could be possible. This is the most expensive. It's expected to cost approximately $210 million. It will cover the 60 eastbound freeway mainline improvements, a new on-ramp and reconstructed off-ramp at Grand Avenue, and new bypass connectors. Funding for this part of the work has not yet been secured. However, the city has taken important steps to ensure that the project is eligible for a number of funding sources. Through persistent and consistent advocacy efforts, the city has been successful in having the freeway improvements under this phase classified as a project of national and regional significance. And the project is recognized as critical to the improvement of the condition and performance of state and national freight networks. And speaking of advocacy, coincidentally, our Public Works Director, David Liu, and our newly appointed council member, Jimmy Lin, are not with us tonight because they're in Washington, D.C. this week, meeting with our legislative representatives to advocate for the project and lobby for funding. There's still a lot of work to do together with our project partners that includes City of Industry and MTA, but as our track record shows, we're committed, we are ready for the challenge, and we are not afraid to do the hard work. Take our other freeway improvement project as an example of being committed, the Lemon Avenue on and off-ramp project. This project's history dates back to 1968. When a freeway agreement was executed, somebody should have been executed. When a freeway agreement was executed between the state and the county to address operational inefficiencies on the 60 freeway through the construction of a new interchange at Lemon Avenue. A lack of financial resources, however, caused the project to be shelved. Today, nearly 50 years later, in partnership with the City of Industry, we are going to see that the project is built out. The proposed scope of work for this project consists of closing existing eastbound on and off ramps at Brea Canyon Road and constructing a new interchange at Lemon Avenue made up of a westbound on-ramp and eastbound off and on ramps. What this new interchange will do is improve the connection between the 60 and 57 freeways and decrease truck traffic on city roads, particularly Golden Springs Drive heading east and Brea Canyon Road heading north. It will give trucks heading to the commercial parts of the City of Industry and Walnut a more direct access to their destinations. This means less stress on our roads, less traffic congestion, and less opportunity for accidents involving trucks and cars. The total cost of the project is estimated at $22 million plus, and it is fully funded using a variety of federal, state, and local resources, which includes the City of Industry that has committed millions to the project. Construction is slated to begin at the start of January 2016 and reach completion by the middle of 2017. We've talked about beautification efforts, park and trail improvements, economic development, public safety, and traffic solutions. And now I'd like to go back to a very integral part of government, civic engagement. But rather than talk to you about it, I'd like to show you a video. An informed and involved citizenship is critical to ensuring government works the way it's intended to, at all levels, but more so on a local level, for the simple fact that it's the closest and most accessible level, and the one that we will interact with the most throughout our lifetime. Diamond Bar government is a product of civic engagement. The incorporation process did not come easy nor cheap, but the motivation was strong. The community hungered for local control, fair representation, access to information, and a say in decisions that would impact their quality of life. We have not lost sight of that. The existence of Diamond Bar government doesn't mean the city's well-being has stopped being a shared responsibility among those who call Diamond Bar home. It has simply enabled us to accomplish collectively what can't be done by an individual alone. And that's to ensure that Diamond Bar has a voice and a place at the table when matters arise that can affect our quality of living. It's why communication remains a top priority of the Diamond Bar City Council. We take pride in our use of a variety of communication mediums to both inform and encourage participation in local decision-making. We know that the most effective way to communicate is the kind that reaches you, whether that be through a newsletter or notice delivered to your mailbox, a Facebook post or Twitter update, a page on the city website, an electronic newsletter sent to your email, a message video posted on YouTube, a notice on an electronic message board, a blurb on the pages of the local newspapers, or an ad on a bus shelter or billboard. And this spring, we're going to further expand our outreach efforts with a new program we're going to call Pop-Up City Hall. The function of this program is simple. Every quarter, city staff will travel out to a different part of town, a shopping center, a park, a church parking lot. They'll bring with them literature about the various city programs and set up a booth so you can obtain information, ask questions, raise concerns, or discuss ideas.
Yeah, so what's gonna happen with the 5760 freeway merge? Like, is it just gonna be fixed, or like, what's up?
In Diamond Bar, we call it the Bigfix. It's a 5760 interchange improvement, and will probably take 5 or 7 years and cost several $1 million, but we're working on it.
So I heard that there's going to be a Walmart.
Yes.
That's great.
It's
Is
a
it gonna
Walmart
be
neighborhood market.
Is it going to be a big Walmart?
No,
or-
it's going to be a grocery store, so it'll meet all the needs of the community, and we're very excited to have them in town.
Oh, I've seen like something
Yeah.
like that in another city.
Yes,
Well, thank you.
absolutely.
Great.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi, Marshall. How are you?
Hi, Mayor. How are you?
I'm fine.
Where's our dog park, Mayor?
It's at Pantera Park. I take my dog there all the time.
You do?
Yes.
Wow.
Will I see you there?
Maybe.
Excellent.
How big is Diamond Bar?
15 square miles.
Wow, so big.
That is big.
How many fire stations is in Diamond Bar?
We have 3 fire stations in Diamond Bar, Alex. Do you like fire trucks?
Maybe. Where does the concert start?
They're going to start June 24th. Are you going to come listen to the music? You like the concerts? You come out with your whole family? Excellent. See you there, buddy. On occasion, staff will be joined by a guest. It may be someone from our public safety agencies or school districts. It might be me or another member of the City Council. The theme will vary from time to time to focus on a seasonal reminder or an emerging issue. However, the purpose will remain the same: to engage in a healthy exchange of information and ideas with the intent to make Diamond Bar the best it can be, for us and our families today, and for the families of tomorrow. Keep an eye out for future editions of DB Connection, or check out the city website for more details about Pop-Up City Hall, including dates, locations, and a list of planned special guests. I look forward to your participation. Bring it on, buddy. Come on. Shoot. Shoot. I want to assure you that no children were harmed in the making of this video. It's our strong sense of shared ownership of what happens in our community that has made a difference and will continue to make a difference for the next 25, 50, and 100 years. We, collectively, have made Diamond Bar a community worth belonging to. And because it's worth belonging to, it's worth investing in. Next year will bring a unique opportunity to do just that, to invest our time, skills, and resources when we revisit the city's original general plan that was prepared in the early 1990s after incorporation. It will be an extensive and expensive effort, but one that is also very rewarding because it will enable us to guide Diamond Bar through another 20-year cycle of growth and change in a fiscally responsible and effective manner that preserves our community's character and quality of life. Starting later this year, you'll be hearing more about the general plan update and the various opportunities to get involved. I hope you'll join us. Thank you so much for being here, for being engaged, for caring enough to stay and listen and to be involved. Good night, and God bless you.